Good morning, everybody. This is Robin from Roaming with Rover, and this is Finish It Friday. I'm having internet problems, so this is probably not going to go up on time. I am having to figure out a place to actually go and get it uploaded, so it's going to go up late, but I still wanted to work on getting something loaded for you guys. It's been tough for me to get any crocheting done, so I don't have a whole lot to show you guys, but I still wanted to check in with you. So what have I been working on? Well, you know that, wow, what am I working on? You know that Sophie is on vacation, so I haven't been working on her. And the mystery crochet along, I was doing really good about keeping up. And then last week came and I got the first 3 rows done, and that was it. I couldn't keep up with her anymore. And of course I can't even show you that. Next week I will be able to show you, because now I am behind and I am to a point where I can show you where I was at, because now I'm behind on last week. This week's has dropped and I have not even looked at it. So I am officially behind on the Rosewood mystery crochet along, and I know at this point there's no possible way I can catch up on that. But I'll keep going on it and I'll get it finished, but I'm not going to be able to keep up with it. Life has gotten in the way. You guys know that I have my own business. I teach first aid, and all of a sudden I've had a whole bunch of training that I've had to do to keep my licensing and things up to date. And so that's what I've had to focus on these last 2 weeks, is getting my training done for my job. And so I haven't been able to, I've hardly crocheted at all. I've hardly picked up a crochet hook at all. And it's very sad. But anyway, that's the way life goes sometimes, right? Crochet is what we love to do, and life is what we have to do. So what have I actually got to do? I have worked a little bit, just a little bit, on Dana's Wonderlush Crochet on the fruit garden. As you know, I was done with part 1, and I'll show you as a reminder what part 1 was. That was these beautiful motifs, these gorgeous motifs, and of course I can't remember what they were called. I have no idea, but we did 8 of these. We did 8 of these motifs, so those were all done, and I was so proud of myself for getting these done. This is something I didn't think I would ever be able to do, something this kind of a thing. Super proud of that. And then the next step we were doing is called, oh my gosh, you would think it would be right here and I'd know what it was called. Nope, no idea. But I had to make 4 of them. Columbine is in my head, but I don't know if that's this chunk or something else. But anyway, this is the second section, and we had to make 4 of them. And this is what we made. Am I still working? Yeah, I'm still working on ends on that one. So we made 4 of these little things, and they look like this, and then they have these little spiky things. So it's hard to see the little spiky things, but so it's some kind of a little, they're all little flower things. It's called Fruit Garden, but it's the actual flower for each of the little fruit thingies. So we made 4 of these, and of course you can't really see the spiky flower petally things. And then once you get the centers made, and I've got these done, and I've got all my ends in. There's a lot of ends on every one of these things. There's a lot of ends. It takes as long to do the ends as it does all the rest of it. And then when you do the ends, then you do the border. And this one is finished. I just have to actually clip it and tie that in. Then you do an edging. And see, then you've got the little flowery thing that you then tuck down with your stitching as you go around. So this is what this square looks like. And of course, these are not blocked, so they're not nice and square and pretty. But, so we're gonna have 4 of these. 4 of these pretty squares. And then these pretty squares we'll go with these pretty squares. See how nice they look together? I was a little bit hesitant because I don't love this gold color, not my favorite, but when you put that gold color with there, that looks great together, doesn't it? It looks great together, and I believe it's going to be something like this. I don't know for sure, but I believe it's going to be something like this when we're done doing them. So we're going to connect them together like this. So that's going to look really, really nice. And I like that a lot. So that's where I'm at on that. And once you get this done, once you get these made, getting these made wasn't too bad. And then sewing in the ends takes as long as it does to make this thing. And then doing this part isn't too bad. The worst of it, again, is counting, because you got to have your count just right when you're doing this. And as I recall, the round on this was exactly the same as the round on this. So you're kind of getting the hang of it, getting in the rhythm of it. And it wasn't nearly as bad. It wasn't nearly as bad this time around as it was the first few of these. So it's getting better. It's getting easier. It really is getting easier. And I didn't bring it with me, but the next step is gonna be tricky. It's these great big rectangle ones, and they're very intricate. But she's smart. She just has us do a little tiny bit of the middle of it, and we have to do 8 of those. So once I get all 4 of these done, which shouldn't take too long, again, because we're just going round and round, then we're ready to start on that hard thing. And this is what I have left of my first skein of the Duck-Egg Blue. So we're getting there. I'm gonna have a label. I'm gonna have a label to add to my count for Queen's Crafts for her monthly count on using up our stash. So that'll be fun too. I will put a link down below if that's something you guys would like to see. We're doing a video every month on how much of our stash we're using up. And of course, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put the link down before. It's fun to see how much of your stash you're using up every month. And I'll put that down before. And Queen's Crafts link, I'll put that down before too. I'm using the Stylecraft, mostly I'm using the Stylecraft Special DK for this. And it's really been nice to work up. And I think I've got a couple other, maybe the We Crochet, because I couldn't quite find every color I needed, but it's working out fine. It's working out really fine, and I'm loving this yarn. I have not used it before. I'm using it on a couple products right now, and I really am like working with that. The other thing, because you know me, I had to start something because we got a grandbaby coming, and I had this yarn that I've been wanting for a really long time to work up, and I had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to make a baby blanket, but we didn't have any babies. And then I found out we had a baby coming. Yay! We've got a new great grandbaby coming, and it's a she, and she is due end of April, beginning of May. You know how that works. They come when they want. And this isn't a first grandbaby, so she will definitely come when she wants. And then we just found out yesterday she might even come a little sooner. So anywho, this is the yarn that I have. It's the Premier Bloom Chunky. And it works up fast, I understand. And the Bloom has this built-in design that it does. Now with the Bloom, the built-in design, my understanding, because I've not worked with it before, but I've seen it worked up a lot of times. The built-in design works super good on knit, not so good on crochet. So I've had it in my mind that I wanted to knit a small project, like a baby blanket, and see how that worked up. So I've kind of been waiting for a baby to come along. I have exactly 5 skeins of this beautiful Bloom yarn, and this color is called Wildflower. It's made in Turkey, and this chunky yarn is 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, 109 yarns. So I got about 500 yards here, and it's a bulky 5, And it says for knitting needles to use a size 11 and for a crochet hook to use a size 11. USL size 11. I don't even know if I've got that size crochet hook. But anywho, I had the right size needles, so I cast this on the other day, and I'm using a very, very simple pattern, because you know me, I barely knit. Very simple pattern. And this is how far I am. I literally just got it knit on, or cast on. I've done a handful of rows, and so there it is. That's what it's going to be. This is the, I think I did, I can't even remember. I've got I literally have the pattern on my phone, and I think all we do is knit, purl back and forth. And I can never remember if that's the stocking knit or if that's the garter. I can never remember. But we did a couple of rows of whatever this was, and now the whole rest of the blanket is just knit, purl all the way back and forth. And on the edging, you can see we do knit one row, we knit 5. We knit 5 on the edge, and then in the middle we either do knit or purl. And that's the whole pattern. So super, super simple. I can even do that while I'm talking, in theory. So, yeah, I think I'm on a purl row actually. Yeah, I am. I'm on a purl row right now. So that's something that, and I know you knitters are gonna look at me and go, what are you doing? That's not how you do it. And so, yeah, I am not a confident knitter by any stretch of the imagination. But I can create something. I can turn string into a product. So I consider that knitting, right? Right. Okay, so that's it. That's the only thing I've gotten done this week, is this much of this. I got these done, and I'll be honest, most of this was done most of this was done last week. And I got 1/4 of a row on my granny square cocoon done, and then had to tear it out because I did the corners wrong. So I've got to look at a video again and figure out what I'm doing wrong on that corner. That granny square cocoon is supposed to be something that I can do while I'm talking, while I'm doing my lives. And I keep messing the corner up, so I have got to get that corner figured out so I can do that while I am talking to you guys on my lives. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It is a very simple thing. And I did it for this much of that cocoon sweater, and I cannot remember what I did. So I really have to sit down and watch that video 2 or 3 times while I do those corners. So anyway, that is exactly everything that I have accomplished this week. This actually 2 weeks is that, and this is it, guys. This is it for Finish It 2 Fridays, actually. Thank you so much for popping in. And hey, this coming Thursday is when the informational video is going to drop for my crochet along. I really hope that you'll watch it, and I hope you'll join in. Thanks so much. Please like, please subscribe. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.